live.
We are live. 3 seconds in, 4 seconds in. The countdown is on. I am Ryan Dunstan, East Main Street Insurance with House Calls, your home insurance podcast. And then, as always, my trusty colleague.
I am here, Chris Kamara, Cobalt Insurance Agency. I am just confirming that our websites are going live.
Yeah, Cobalt Insurance Agency. That's different from a few podcasts ago.
Oh yeah, we got approved from the Department of Insurance to rebrand. So our DBA is gone for, or our name has gone from Kamara Insurance Agency to Cobalt Insurance Agency.
I like it.
Thank you. I'm not seeing the live. Oh, there we go. It just had a little bit of a lag.
I like that it's still CIA. I like that it's still bold, blue. Or no, you transitioned the blues, right?
It's a little darker blue. It's cobalt blue.
Yeah. But you had another blue before. It was like a
little lighter.
So we had taken a couple weeks off. I am guilty first. No, I'm guilty second. You were guilty first.
Yeah. You had a family in school.
Yeah. Yep, I had a birthday. It was probably one of the largest weeks of my life, just personally. Like daughter's birthday party, my anniversary, just life with first day of school, bunch of stuff.
All important things.
Yeah, all important things for making the household work. What were you doing? You were the next offender. So what was up?
I went back home. So 3 weeks ago, was it 4 weeks ago? We had Detroit on because I had my son's birthday party. And then I spent 8 days back home on the Big Island of Hawaii. So I missed that one. I was on the beach. And honestly, I totally missed the calendar invite from my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why we've been gone.
But we're back to it because we want to answer your questions, go over information. I think there's always something moving and shaking with the insurance industry right now. California is a hot topic. Have you just over the past couple weeks? Is there anything that's really kind of stood out that you maybe want to chat about? And
for me, the biggest thing that stood out for summer, honestly, it's the end of August. We've been very fortunate. I mean, there's been a few fires, but nothing like prior years. So we lucked out with some really good weather and some very mild wildfires from what I'm seeing.
Yeah. I would say the only thing that's going on right now is the Coyote fire. I haven't checked it recently. I think last I heard it was about 300 acres. Have not seen if there's been too crazy amount of evacuations.
I'm going to watch duty right now looking it up.
Yeah. That's 624, so it has grown.
Yeah. We've gone over watch duty in a prior podcast, right?
Yeah, we have. I love watch duty. I think we brought it up. I don't know if I could share my screen. You can share yours.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay. I will share it real quick. Watch duty is a great tool for looking to see fires that are in your area, looking to see notifications. You can actually set. This is all a free tool for homeowners.
I think it's one of the fastest notification systems there is too.
Yeah. Yeah, and they give live images.
124 acres and 5% contained.
Yeah, yesterday the wind was really crazy. I was driving home and I could see just the plume. I could see the cloud, kind of spreading out. It was really stagnant. And
from where? Where you're at, Grass Valley?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a ways away. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to see. Here's the picture. So this was last night, around 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just see, there was just some sort of maybe weather system that was just not allowing the smoke to escape maybe as normal, and it was kind of just keeping it lower. So yeah, it could definitely be seen. I mean, I was in Grass Valley and I saw it.
That is crazy. That's such a big deal picture too. I'm looking at it on my screen. It's a little bigger.
But I do love, how they say you can donate to them, because they are essentially like a nonprofit, like they're a private corporation that puts out this information. So if you wanted to give to them, you definitely can. But there's a lot of info. I think there's a membership, but you don't need to subscribe. I think some of the things that they give you, I guess I should pull it back up.
Yeah, the free stuff is pretty comprehensive, and I'm sure you get more with the membership. Like, I can only monitor 5 counties on my free account.
Mm-hmm. But it's a good mission. I mean, they're putting out a lot of information, a lot of helpful tools, especially for people that are affected. They upload where you can go to get shelter, what the new take is. So, they also go over the zones as well, which that's huge. I think I'm up in Nevada County, so that's kind of large up in my area, talking about know your zone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do you want to hear some breaking news in regards to quoting? So we're quoting a property. Let me pull up the area. Just 1 second here. So we're quoting a property in Marysville, and this property in Marysville, I'll give you the scores because this is actually a pretty good point here. The score is a 0N. So in general, you would think, oh, great, all the carriers are going to want a 0N. That's the best rating. That said, it's 0N PC10. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. So PC10 is pretty extreme. We got a false positive from one of our carriers that wasn't flagging it for a DIC or companion policy. We quoted the fair plan, and it's 6 miles from the fire department, no hydrant within 1,000 feet. And without giving too much data, it's $10,000 for the fair plan.
Wow.
And we have a carrier, you have this carrier too, and a lot of other agents have this carrier. But we have another carrier that came in, and the indication quote is $4,300.
Oh, wow.
$14,000 with the fair plan and DIC. And it's a nice looking property. It's out on a field. It's 4 acres, not super large property, pretty standard home. But yeah, 13,000 fair plan and DIC, or 4,300 single ENS carrier.
ENS. So you're saying that's non-admitted company?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and that's almost like taking us into, that's great pricing. I feel like the ENS understands the area. They understand that they want to, I think there's going to be more ENS carriers coming into our space or into our state.
Mm-hmm.
They've been here for a long time, but I think there's a lot more startups and or wholesalers that are reaching out and getting those ENS appointments, so that way they can offer clients more options.
So they're also more nimble, right? Because they don't have to go through the Department of Insurance. So
right.
They're able to adapt. I mean, I have another carrier. You have another carrier that sent an email out and said, oh, yeah, we're dropping rates by new business rates by 15%. And,
oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was just
right.
That was amazing.
So what that is a sign of is the carrier is recognizing the risk and the saturation and competition and adjusting accordingly in a more nimble time frame, right? They don't have to file for a rate, whether it be up or down, and they don't have to wait 6 months to get an approval or 12 months to get an approval and another 6 months to implement. They can do that next month.
Yep.
Right? I'm pretty sure that's when it was effective too, September 1st.
For the rate decrease?
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now. And I don't really want to talk about specific carriers on
no,
this.
I get you. Yeah, it's effective
immediately. Yeah, immediately. So
a day ago, 1 day ago,
3% decrease. Say that again.
1 day ago.
1 day ago. Yeah. But those are the things that are happening that we, as independent brokers, we get to see that with our carriers. We got a lot more visibility into what's going on.
Well, and not only that, I feel like that's another reason, to put blasts out. I know you're really great about blasting your clients, letting them know of your newsletters and information, but we are in probably the most ever evolving market, and there's updates like this that are coming out on a monthly basis, and things are changing. So, if you are stuck in a fair plan, or you're stuck in or you have an upcoming non-renewal, or you just see your prices increasing, it's in your best interest to reach out to an agent tomorrow, next week, or every other month, because
it's such a dynamic market. Yeah,
it's such dynamic. Yeah, that's a great word. I like that. Thanks.
And not only about new carriers coming in, but existing carriers that either are hitting capacity, meaning they're not able to write in certain areas due to concentration, or they're opening back up in capacity. So one day the carrier may write it, the next day they may not. It's very fluid.
Yeah. I've got that one carrier, I think you do too, and they actually put a block on your address when you run it for 60 days. So they may say no now, but in 2 months, things could change. Things could be open back up, and now you may be eligible. I wish I was a better agent sometimes to be able to go back in and go to my list of every agent I'm supposed to remarket. But it's hard, I think, just because
there's a lot going on. There's a lot
going on.
Yeah. There's a lot of people with new home purchases. I mean, I won't speak directly to the real estate market, but we're still quoting a high volume of people. So there is purchases happening, there is sales happening, and there are people getting non-renewed and shopping. So,
yep. I saw that we've got some people watching. Just to reiterate, we're here for you, the consumer. If you have a question that's going on with your policy, you want to just ask an agent something, we've set aside our time for you. So if we're not your agent, we'll do our best to answer it. So feel free to hop in and ask away. There was something else that I think we wanted to go over that you were chatting about too. And we've talked about the E&S, which was great. I mean, there's been, like you say, the emergence.
You might want to turn off the comments though on the screen, because we see it on the sidebar.
You don't want to show it on the stream?
Yeah, because it won't show that size. We can see it on the sidebar, and we can bring it up when there's more comments.
Okay.
We got a lot on our list. So you want to touch on the fair plan renewals? Because I know that's been a pretty big issue. July and August, we're probably through most of that now.
Well, I think I have about two insureds left from July that I haven't got renewals on. August, I've heard, and still have some that have to be released. I reached out to a few agents that I know to also ask them how they're doing with the issue. That issue being that there are no renewals being released. There's an internal glitch that they have, and you can escalate your renewal to be released. I would say the best caveat is that you're given a 45-day grace period.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, we've escalated every single one that's come across our agency and have gotten resolution. But we document very well that they've got that 45-day grace period, and that typically solves everything.
And that's really big whenever it's lender bill, because whenever you have that renewal and it's supposed to go to the lender, the insured doesn't want to come out of pocket again and basically start a whole new policy. So keeping those policies on that grace period and waiting for the renewal to be released has been huge. There had been some that I had done this month where it was insured paid or insured billed. So I just went ahead and rewrote a policy because there's no sense in waiting. It is kind of this gray area that, they've said that you get 45 days, but
some people just want that peace of mind. They'll go through those
sometimes
extra
clients just want that peace of mind, and that's where the agent aspect is good.
What was the rate variance, if any?
Nope, I didn't see a rate variance. I haven't seen a rate variance yet. If anything, I've seen a rate deviance.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen decreases, and that's because of the new Zesty correlation with how they're looking at risks now.
Explain that a little bit, because I don't know enough. You're talking about Zesty AI, right? The scoring.
Yeah.
And so, what is that coalition, or what is that doing? Is it real-time scoring, or how often do they update that information about risks or risk profile, like how close the fire station is, how close the fire hydrants are, those type of things?
I would say that it is done in real time. Because it's AI driven, and they're going out and looking at the distance to hydrants, distance to fire stations, the slope of your grade at your home. So the characteristics of it, they're looking at historical data of a wildfire being in your area. So if there was one, and I don't know the actual years of how far they go.
And I know from another agent, there was a fire station that closed down up in the hills, and people are seeing that being reflected on their renewals now. There's no fire station within 5 miles, and their rates doubled for the FAIR plan.
Yeah.
So it's going both ways, right? It's addressing it, and then when your renewal comes up, it's using current data. I'm guessing. I don't know enough to say that confidently.
For what the data that they're pulling?
Yeah, how often or how frequently it's updated.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Looks like that there's the 16 attributes. So it's vegetation clearance, roof type and material, presence of defensible space, building materials, proximity to fuel sources, slope of terrain, and surrounding topography and access. So, wow. I don't know how quickly that they pull that data in order to give you a new score.
Yeah, I'm trying to find an answer too, and I'm not seeing one. It just say continuously refined and updated using AI on fresh imagery and other data sources to provide the most current and granular risk assessment possible. So it's looking like they're saying they do it pretty frequently.
And I think it's because of the wildfire history. They want to know what the most up-to-date wildfire is in the area. So like that one with the Coyote fire.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely going to be a factor, right?
Yeah, because there's fires that pop up all the time.
Mm-hmm. Are you seeing a lot of cancellations still?
Cancellations of FAIR plan or of other carriers?
No, typical admitted or preferred carriers.
Yeah, I've actually seen a lot more. Do we want to name them or?
Just a lot more preferred carriers. I mean, I've got 4 at the top of my head that I've got listed here. But I mean, the main point is that people are still being non-renewed, right?
Yeah.
The FAIR plan continuously grows, and preferred admitted carriers are still getting off risk instead of writing much more risk, right?
Correct. Yeah. I've definitely seen a few of even the, like you say, the admitted preferred carriers that are getting off the risk. One of them, I've just seen a larger rate increase So, the carriers are filing for rate increases, they're getting them approved, and then they're putting those on to the renewals. But I have seen, which is nice, is those carriers, the preferred ones, you can see the actual like request for asking about the firewise community, the wildfire hardening structure discounts, the roofs being updated, because a lot of those preferred carriers are now filing for that sustainable insurance strategy, the whole, show us that you're doing this amount of work and then we can give you credits. The credits aren't much, 1%, 2%, nothing that's huge, but you can actually see the carriers making
back up, source. So what you're saying is you're seeing filings for credits that equate to 1%, 2%?
Yeah.
Wow, that's way better. So we know it's been over a year now at least, that these sustainable insurance strategies, discounts had to be accounted for by the carriers. But what I'm seeing is like $1, $2, not 1%, 2% discounts. So that's a good sign that we're moving in the right direction as far as bringing rates down for those that are making the effort to protect their home.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the other thing too is 1%, 2%. It's still, I guess it's more than the $1, $2, but I don't think it's. I mean, the fact that it's not as broad as Fair Plan's discount, maybe that's
small steps.
I think it's small steps. Then maybe it's because these admitted carriers, they don't have the data because they've already lost all of their insureds, so they can't see, if you're applying for this, what the rate is actually looking like, and if you're competitive or not. So
sure, but it's steps in the right direction, right? That's I think will get us better as far as competition. Is there's going to be a preference, like we already know, for people that take good care of their properties.
Yep.
You know what I'm seeing this week and last week a little bit much is roof issues. So we've had renewals, pending cancellations, new business written, a lot of issues with roofs, and people first of all not understanding, and second, people thinking that they can go to another carrier, but they're running into the same result. The roof inspection is a big deal, and if you've got a roof that needs replacing and you try to go to another carrier, they're going to do an inspection as well and have that same issue. So definitely something to keep in mind, the condition of the roof of a home you're purchasing or your current home if you're shopping. I had a client, unfortunately, their rate went up $400 a year, and we shopped them. We found another carrier. They kept them pretty same as far as their prior rate. Everything went fine with that rewrite. Carrier did an inspection, says the roof needs to be replaced. And now we're not in a great place for the client because we didn't know that the roof needed to be replaced, and it just came up on inspection.
Well, the other thing too is some of the carriers are doing the ACV. So it's like, maybe they're not going to replace their roof, but they're going to be given actual cash value from that other carrier. And that's not very much money. I guess it depends on what type of roof it is and how old it is. Is it because some of the carriers it's 20, some are 25. Now I've seen 30. So most of them are going to be that 25-year mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you seeing any pockets where it's more difficult to write than others?
I would say if you're outside of 5 miles of a fire station, it's usually always that I've seen going to have to go to Fair Plan.
Yeah, for me here, because I'm in Rockland, what we're seeing, the hardest stuff to write right now is new construction in West Roseville. Nobody wants it. It's almost mind-blowing that we have to go to the Fair Plan for something like that.
Is it just because it's undeveloped and carriers can't see like distances of to hydrants or distances to fire stations or the terrain? Like, because it's new build. That's the hard part, like if you got new construction and it's built up to code, that should be a slam dunk.
Cool. So this is west of 65. Then you go out to like West Park, new construction. The problems we're finding are things like this, right? These homes, nobody wants to insure because there's just dirt all around it or farmland all around it. And then you get further in, like over here off of Baseline, these are brand new homes, but there's dirt all the way around it.
So those are having to go with Fair Plan?
Some of them, yeah.
Wow.
Unless we get lucky with an E&S carrier, it's mind-boggling, like I said. And I've asked other agents too, and they're having the same answer. Talked to a bunch of realtors, and they're struggling in that space too. And you think about it, you got the 2-road access, you got new construction, everything except no propane, no wood burning stove, right? It's just
they probably have tile roof, stucco.
Oh yeah,
probably
absolutely.
Sprinklered. They're probably sprinklered.
Interior sprinklered, absolutely. Yeah. So this is, I don't know this property, I'm just zooming in, but you've got the required solar, you've got the tile roof, it's stucco. There's fire hydrants all in this neighborhood. They just have to be because they're new construction.
Right.
But the carriers just don't want it. And even my E&S carriers were having difficulty in places like this.
Yeah, the thing
this place,
I would see like an E&S carrier maybe would write it and say they write it for $8,000, and then you can go get it Fair Plan for $3,000.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because Fair Plan is going to rate it with Zesty AI, and it's going to be a lower fire risk.
Yeah.
But then you get into here, like this area. This is Roseville. Even that, it's hit and miss. It all depends. It's very dependent upon carrier appetite. It's very dependent upon carrier concentration. It's I don't know. It's still the most difficult to quote time ever because raters aren't going to show us what we need, and the carriers' appetites, like we said, are very fluid. So it's been fun. It's been very interesting in quoting some of this stuff.
I wonder how often, and if there's a way to see, you might know, because you've chatted a lot with one of our other carriers, but on the saturation level, like how often that they're reevaluating that per zip code. Like, have you run into that saturation issue, and then in 2 months, now they've opened up, or 6 months, like what?
So the carrier you're talking about, no, I haven't seen that. But another carrier, admitted carrier, there'll be points where I'll quote something and it'll take it no problem, and then I'll quote that neighborhood again, and I'll get a message stopping me saying that we're at nearing capacity is the words they're using. And then I provide additional information, they approve it, and I can bind it. And there's other points where I'll go to that same carrier in that same neighborhood, and they'll say we're at capacity, and they'll only have an E&S product versus an admitted product available.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is fluid, absolutely, by carrier.
Oh, wow. Just lots of things to digest,
Absolutely.
I can only imagine trying to buy a house right now. And I felt like with more new homeowners, new to the scene, and having to be that educational tool of what is this new market?
Oh yeah,
you can't rate it,
I just don't see it changing. It's not made progress. It's just continued to be difficult. Even with new players in, it's continued to be difficult and expensive to write anywhere in California.
Yep.
And we're just trying to help our clients navigate as best we can. We don't get to set the rates, but we can shop around, give them understanding of what's going on. I think now's a good time to segue into that discussion we were having about Prop 103. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, definitely. What?
So why don't we start with what is Prop 103, just so people understand?
Well,
you want me to read it off?
Yeah, if you've got it pulled up. I'm trying to think of what a easy way is to explain it. I mean, it was started.
You ready? Go ahead. Prop 103 was passed by California voters in 1988. It's a law that regulates insurance rates and practices. So to boil that down, it's no carrier admitted in California can use a rate unless it's been filed and approved with by the Department of Insurance.
Here's the other funny thing is, it started because of auto insurance.
Absolutely. Yep.
And that's why it's like there should be like a Prop 103 for auto insurance and a Prop 103 for home insurance, almost, but the fact that it's all insurances, and now the home insurance is the one that's really it's coming to bat for. It's scary.
I've got a client in Rockland, and a person reached out to me, and they're paying for a 3,700 square foot home in Rockland here. They were paying 2,200, and they were complaining about their insurance for their cars going up 41%. And I just was talking with them, and I said, hey, just talking with you and looking what I'm looking at, I think you're paying between $2,000 and $3,000 a year for your homeowner's insurance. They're like, yeah, 2,200. I said, stay where you are. I know it sucks. Pay the increased auto because you don't want to lose the home in case you change auto. And the closest I can get you to is probably $7,000 or $8,000 to insure your home. So even if your auto goes up, it's just not going to equate out if I have to find you a new carrier to write your home.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy how they're tied together. And a lot of people don't like the increases we're seeing in auto. 41% isn't abnormal right now. Sometimes even 100% increase isn't abnormal.
So if Prop 103 is repealed, then carriers get to just raise the rates however much they want.
So that's like other states, right? It's file and use, right? Not get approval. So file and use. And California's rates overall run in the middle of the pack for the entire country as far as the cost. It's not the cheapest. It's not the most expensive in relative terms. It's in the middle of the pack. There's two arguments, right? One argument is if we deregulate, then we'll bring in more and there'll be more competition. That's going to drive rates down.
Yep.
Or the other argument of if we deregulate, then all the carriers are just going to jack up all the rates even more. I don't know if I
see them doing that.
What's that?
I don't see them. I don't see them jacking up even more because the quicker that everyone's coming back into market, I feel like maybe if they do jack up the rates, it might be for a short time.
Well, the way I look at it is E&S is already doing that. They're already coming in. E&S players, excess and surplus players are coming in, setting rates, and they're adjusting to the market, right? There's going to be an equilibrium between demand and price. And they seem to be figuring it out pretty good.
Yep, that's true.
And this is just us spitballing. I mean, none of us have a crystal ball.
Yeah, no one actually knows what's going to happen. But Prop 103 they're trying to push for it. It's on. They want to put it on the ballot for what, November of next year or June of next year?
Yeah. They're calling it the California Insurance Market Reform Act of 2026.
And they need 500,000 signatures.
And that just started this month, the whole ballot initiative.
Yeah. They first they gave them till a later time, and then they said they had to have all the signatures, I think, by January of this of 26.
Now it says November 20. Oh, to qualify, it must be April of 26 for 500,000.
Right. But then I think there was some other article I read, and they said they're trying to push it up to January even.
Oh, so, really?
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, if you're going to need these signatures, you're going to, I think, need to, like, granted, I think this just came out literally in August 2nd or something like that. Because it's actually been started by an insurance agent. I don't know where she's at. It's Panorama Insurance Associates.
I'm curious.
Panorama. They don't really have a website. Oh, they're in Roseville. Well, they have one in Roseville. But I think we chatted about it in a couple of our agent groups, and one person has said to cast their vote for them. I don't know if anyone else is really onboarded, or maybe they're going to be reviewing it soon. But it's something to definitely watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an attempt, at least, to change the status quo.
And it gives an appointed agent or appointed commissioner, right? So where was it? Where did I see? Proposed act replaces this with a governor-appointed commissioner, removes prior approval, and replaces it with a deadline-based review. So
it's no longer a political position; it's an appointee, not something.
Yeah.
Run for.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of effect that would have, because it eliminates Ricardo Lara's position.
As it sits, there's going to be a commissioner, but it's appointed by the governor.
Yeah, it says it eliminates the election of the insurance commissioner, and it just replaces it with an appointment by the governor, and it has to be confirmed by the Senate with statutory limits on the commissioner discretion. So, yeah, I guess if you're. Yeah, I don't know who makes that, because I feel like if you take away the repeal and you I don't know, like the current commissioner now, it hasn't really made a lot of things and used his power. I think as of lately he has, but in the past he hasn't. So now it's like now you're putting the state in the driver's seat of making sure whatever happens with the filings, and that it just gets appointed, because there's no public person in the middle.
I wonder, there's just too many moving pieces to figure out what that would look like.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. We talked about CFP. We've talked about ENS.
I got one more on the topic list. That's wildfire preparedness. And Deetra, who was on subbing for me, her work in educating communities on how to become firewise. That's a pretty good thing. That's a pretty big deal, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get Deetra on. I think that she's actually chatting with someone, like she's going to be in front of a bunch of people and doing a webinar or not a webinar, but she's going to be sitting on a board or something with telling realtors how they can help get their clients onboarded with Firewise community.
Yep.
That is Thursday. Wait, that was Thursday, August 7th. Where is the other one? We should get her on and have her plug her thing.
Yeah. Let me go check it out. I'll find it. Hold on a second.
I think it's with PCAR, but I'm not 100% sure.
PCAR? Yeah. Let's see. See if I can find it quickly. Nope, I can't find it very quickly. Sorry.
Well, that's okay.
What else is on your mind? I'm closing all these windows where I'm digging around now.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like there's been a lot more realtors, and maybe we could try and, I guess, bring a realtor on too, because like you're saying, like with you chat with a few with your Roseville situation that you just brought up earlier today, but even realtors that are getting quotes from us to give to their consumers, you know, are they, what's the pushback on sales, you know, and them not being able to afford the insurance policy? Like, what does that real world look like? You know, we see it all the time because we're seeing the exact same prices in our areas and we're giving out the same quotes. But as far as a new home buyer, this is new to them. So, you know, they're just hearing it from one person. That's about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be good to maybe chat with a realtor and see what it is that what struggles that they are coming up against, who they need to see, what they need to provide to their client.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know we wanted to talk about a contractor. We want to try and getting a firefighter.
Yep. So realtor, contractor, firefighter.
Yeah, and we've been putting this out on my page, my Facebook page, my YouTube. You're putting it on your Facebook page, your YouTube. So if you've watched all this all the way through and you want to ask questions and or, you know, get more information from a home insurance vendor or someone else regarding your home insurance policy, please reach out to us and we can make sure we're putting this on our next segment.
What about cost to mitigate? So like boxing in eaves and things of that nature. Do we know what that is? How much that costs?
Yeah, I've got a contractor buddy. He was telling me that it's gonna, I guess it depends on the square footage of your home, how much materials it's gonna take. But they're usually anywhere between, I want to say like 1,500 to maybe a couple thousand. Just depends on, are you a 2-story? What materials are you going to use to box in your eaves? How, you know, far around and what the perimeter looks like.
This says the cost to replace both the soffit and the fascia typically falls between $9 and $34 per linear foot. So something between $900 and $6,800 depending. It's just too broad. Let me try and narrow it down to like a 2,000 square foot home. About $1,800, yeah. So this is pretty close to what you were saying.
And I feel like at this time, you know, the first year, maybe 2 years, it's not going to make a difference, but it's also eligibility. Is that new carrier that's going to re-enter the market going to require it? If they do and or they don't, you know, are you able to now get your insurance savings right off the bat? So it's not going to be a realized gain in the very beginning. I mean, it's more or less in the future and what carriers are going to come on board and
sure,
what discounts you're going to get moving forward. Because yeah, I think right now people are saying, oh, it's going to cost me $2,000. I'm only going to save $500. It's like, well, I don't think you're just going to save $500 because it's dependent on how long you're going to be in that house for and what insurance company is coming up next in the year after that.
Yeah, or if you're first in line and a carrier re-enters the market, and you get off the fair plan, instead of paying $5,000 or $6,000, you're paying $3,200. You recoup in a year and a half, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if something reopens back up and you're able to get back into a carrier right away, that makes sense.
And then barring all the money piece, you're actually protecting your investment, right? So yeah, if a fire does happen, there's a higher likelihood that your home is better protected than someone that doesn't do those things.
Correct. Well, and a lot of people, I think maybe they're even thinking about including the charge because maybe they are going to replace their roof in the next couple of years. So they're going to try and do it all at once, which that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess everyone's different. But that's the conversations that you have to have with your insurance agent.
Absolutely. I've run out of topics. Got anything else you want to go over?
No, this has been good. We got we had three or four viewers in here at one point in time. No chat. I think we went over quite a bit of information.
We did.
Wonder if there's anything with fair. Has anything come up with Fair Plan that you've? I know you don't really write that much of it. You do write some.
I try not to. We try to find other markets. I mean, even if it's for 1 year, I'd rather go to an E&S market, save the client money, and then if it goes up or doubles the next year, then we'll shop it again. But we still write Fair Plan.
I feel like I've done more broker of record letters this month than ever before.
For Fair Plan or for in general?
For Fair Plan.
Wow.
Yeah, it's but the people I'm brokering it from are larger agencies that are most of them are not in our area, and they want a local agent to chat with, to help make changes, to go and review it over. And or those larger agencies just don't have the capacity to have a 15, 30-minute phone conversation or go over changes with their.
Or do they understand the California Fair Plan, right? I mean.
Yeah, because these people have been on Fair Plan for at least 2, 3. I mean, I have a client that's been with them for 8 years. So, yeah, that most of the clients understand it. They just can't get their agent to help them with making changes.
Got it.
Because now the rates are increasing. You know, if you're on year 4 of Fair Plan and you've had these continual increases, and you need to make
they're pretty significant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What did you say? September 24th?
I'm waiting for more information. And I don't have anything. She says it's 24th next month. So I guess next week we can go over the specifics when we get that information from Deetra.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like it's not coming up soon, but she's I think she's meeting with a realtor group that is helping insureds find out about the Firewise communities, how you can get a part of it, how you can join it, what it is, what kind of discounts you get. Because that's definitely coming up a lot more too, I feel like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess we'll call it a little early today.
Yeah, not that early. Still 10 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah. Not bad at all. Cool. Then we will approach again next week.
Thanks for joining, Chris, with Cobalt. And
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan with East Main Street Insurance. And we will see you next week.